Mic test, mic test. Right. Mic test. Okay. Okay, so hello YouTube. Uh, we're going to be closing out our gauntlet run this time around, and we'll be doing it on 3 ships. We uh, we have the Schlieffen, the Immelmann, and the what do we call this? The Richthofen. All right, so it's in the evening, so I'm not too confident with how this is going to go with the Schlieffen, but let's just see how it plays out. Okay, so I'm entering the game. The Schlieffen, there we go. So my Schlieffen is fully built on secondaries. Yep. Uh, yeah. Okay. So I changed over the damage control systems mod for propulsion because I really want it to get going in. The typical suggested build is to build into uh, closer range engagements and rely on your main battery. I won't be doing that on the Schlieffen. I want this to be a sneaky boy, and yeah, that's gonna be that. So this will be my last game before I hop onto carriers. I'm not too confident when I'm playing carriers because it takes a lot out of a player to play carriers well. Well, there are carriers that are just naturally good at what they do, but it's quite different when you're on something like the Immelmann or the Richthofen, which actually requires some skill to pilot. Okay, so we got matched. I'm not too sure how well this will go for us, but hey. Usually around this are people really like to play at the back lines. Okay, so we have double Schlieffen, double Wisconsin on our team. We have a Shinano. The enemy has double Schlieffen and a Carvers on their team. So I think we win out just a midge because we have two Wisconsins and a Loria. These guys will be handling the Brisbane and the Smolens quite easily. For our part, we have to punch in, go in fast and go in forward and fast, and hopefully we can catch in on the destroyers on the enemy fleet. Okay, so I spawned on this flank. It's not normally a flank where you want to be spawned in as a Schlieffen, but there's nothing we can do about it. Uh, what we can do is sneak around this island, go in from the left, and try to position ourselves behind that next island over there, just behind it. Because what we can expect from the enemy is that, okay, so both of their middle battleships are turning out towards the sea flank, which is not bad. They're grouping up. All of them are secondary brawlers, which leaves us to be the pushing flank. Okay. So the archer fish is going at it at a weird direction. Um, if that's going to be the case, I think I should sneak around to the right of the island, or maybe to no. Let's stick to the plan. We have a good Loria over here. Um, he'll be providing us some cover. I hope so. Okay, so now we're double teaming our Schlieffen here in this flank. So hopefully we could play out the 4501 or the seal. Problem is now that we're spotted, we have to approach this game a bit more carefully than we normally would like. You see, the thing with the Schlieffen is that you want to approach the enemy as stealthily as you could, just so you can take advantage of all your secondaries. Yes, your secondaries are engage the enemy at 12.5, and your spotting range or your concealment goes down to 12.6. So, okay, so we're spotted. I'm assuming that's going to be from the enemy. Okay, so we're spotted. That's likely from the enemy submarine. So you notice that we were spotted just a bit. It lingered. Okay, so it's going to. Okay, so I have reasonable doubt that it was only just the enemy submarine. I also think it could also be the enemy Smolensk. There we go. That's the enemy Smolensk. He's spotting us, and we are. Okay, so now that. Okay, so now we're not spotted. That's not good. We just ate a load of torpedoes. Okay. A bit disappointing that our ally archer fish did call it right, but hey. Oh, we have 4 views already. Nice. Okay. That went terribly. I shouldn't have pushed in too early. But still, they really. So the earlier game had me up against a seal. That was most likely what was shooting those torpedoes at me. It went terribly. I should have gone in more cautiously, but I got greedy. Totally my fault. Okay, so this map I'm not too thrilled to go in. I think I'll tail the incomparable just because we have similar playstyle. The incomparable has a detection range of surprisingly around 10 kilometers, 10.6. It's surprisingly low for a battleship. I mean, if they could build it into a secondary battleship style, that would be great. But the incomparable doesn't play like that. It has 20-inch guns for something with such a low detection range, or rather, it has such excellent concealment. It has huge guns, which doesn't make a lick of sense, not to me at least. But we're gonna have some problems on this flank, because for one, we're expecting that the enemy destroyer would be headed here too, and there's an enemy Colombo. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit problematic for us. Honestly, it's not a good lineup for us. They are all backline battleships except for the Curvers. But I think we have an isolated Colombo as a target here, so it might not go terribly or as terrible as we might expect. Yeah. Okay, so this officer is being a little funny guy here. Okay. And besides, I think we have a better distribution than the enemy team. All the enemy battleships are hugging around right up top, which is a good target for Shimakase. In turn, we have an isolated Colombo on this flank, and a Marceau that's a bit overcommitting. Yeah, as soon as they eliminate this Marceau, I think we're in for a better game. The GL, the Liu, took a hit, took a sizable hit. But okay, so now I'm spotted. I think the Hindenburg would be the right target for us. Because really, once you're spotted, there's really no point in staying hidden. Or trying to stay hidden. Okay, so someone's making some smoke. Cerberus, thank you for the smoke, but we won't need it. Yeah.
前方より魚雷が接近。回避行動を取りなさい。
Didn't get a citadel there, but there's some pigs. Okay. Okay, so we're going to try and cover for our GL here. Add some of our AE to his. This is bad. Okay, so okay, that's terrible. But I think we can take the Colombo in a fight. We have better allies on this side of the side of the map. Okay. So what we wouldn't want here is the Yamato to pay attention to us. Which is okay. Not terrible, but hey, the Shinano is picking up on our push, which is great. I'll compliment the compliment. Please well. Okay, so the enemy Curvers is over there. It's coming in towards us. It's a good thing because we can fight him on in terms of secondaries. I think we have a bit of a lead compared to him. We have better secondaries than their first. I'm confident about that fact. Okay. Now that we've been spotted by radar, we should be able to engage our main guns now. Okay. The thing about the Curvers is that you're still going to be running away from it. Let's leave in some torpedoes for him, just as a surprise. Okay, so what I said about the Curvers having... okay, so it's going to come down to the wire for me here, because this Curvers has regions on not the best scenario for us really. He's going to get his reload boost on loot gens because of it. I really wish okay. Okay, so now we can go hidden right in the middle of the battlefield. Yep. Okay. so now that the Shinano has an isolated target, it's going to work well for our team. I guess. I hope. Because the car first is not a slouch in terms of AA, but it's not going to enjoy being an isolated target either. The number one rule with um, the number one rule with carriers is that you try to pick off isolated targets. I think that's one of the best ways you could play carriers. Targets of opportunity, sure, but okay. So we're not going to try and Citadel a curve first. That's just going to be a fool's errand at this range. What we're going to aim for with the curve first from this range is aim for his main deck or for his upper deck. I think that's generally the way to approach it. And take on targets of opportunity whenever you can. Right now we have a bit of an advantage over the enemy. What I think would be proper here is try and get to the Yamato. See, the Schlieffen is a secondary battleship, but it shouldn't be treated like it's only a secondary battleship. It still has great guns, 420 millimeters for the tier. It's good. It's not stellar, but it's good. And again, take shots of opportunity. Now that the Thunder is isolated over there, okay. The Curvers is not going to be shooting at me anytime soon. We can leave that to our allied incomparable. Yeah, let's go from there. Okay, so it's nice that we have such an aware carrier playing with us. He is playing very good, very team play oriented. Which is he's picking on something with low deficient AA stats, which is the Yamato, and he's constantly harassing him with the ammunition type that they hate the most, or rather with the planes that work well against it. Okay, so we have a recap advantage. Okay, so we have a recap advantage. Enemy is below. Okay, the Thunder is running away. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now I don't have any good targets. I'm happy I turned out away from the enemy curve first when I did. Okay, so let's just try to contribute. Even if it doesn't hit, it's still gonna bracket them. Just gonna add some. Yeah, okay. So it's still going to add some of their mental load. Yeah, because this is a game also played by humans, so you have to take into consideration that even if you miss, if you contribute even just a little, or shoot towards the enemy, that still contributes something. Because now that the enemy who's trying to avoid you is made aware that they're being aimed at and being shot at, and that there are more guns than their spot and they can see, or they're paying attention to. If you're on the DD, on the destroyer, it's easy to win a one-on-one engagement, but it's easy to win on a one-on-one engagement. But when there are like several guns firing at you, it gets really difficult to keep track of. The most that you can do is probably wiggle, but if you're being crossfired, like there's something coming at you in perpendicular directions, you really can't do you really can't do that. Even if you wiggle, you're still an easy target for the one shooting at your broadside. Okay, so the Shinano, our ally Shinano did his best, and now that thanks to him, we have this lead. Okay. So later, when I get on my Immelmann, I'll try to play like something of a halfway support, something in between. I just Actually, I just realized when I was testing earlier. Hidden Menace is a 4-point skill. Can be very beneficial to German carriers. Because the thing with German carriers is that they're very fast, but they have terrible terrible protection. They don't have the best durability. And there we go. We're just short one ship to close this game out. Okay, so back to my point with German carriers. Their planes very fast, but not the best in terms of durability. Hidden Menace can work towards its can benefit that can be of benefit when playing that kind of playstyle because how do you say this? Uh, it also gives increased or rather faster climb height for the planes so that they can get to safe altitude faster.
指揮官、よくやったわね。
And that's what we're going to
ご褒美欲しい？
try and do after this. Okay, so we got second grade. We played well according to the game. Middle of the pack. Okay, so now for I'm dreading this. I had a few practice rounds earlier, but it still doesn't make me any more confident than how I really should be. Okay, so the Immelmann. What can we say about the Immelmann? The Immelmann only has two planes, two kinds of planes. The Immelmann only has two kinds of planes: uh, torpedo, torpedo planes, and skip bombers. The tricky thing with the Immelmann is that, or rather, what would I wouldn't say tricky. A characteristic of the Immelmann is that those two kinds of planes, they don't expressly teach you how to deal with destroyers. It took me a lot of time to learn how to fight off against destroyers using skip bombers and um, and torpedoes because the torpedoes on the Immelmann are really slow. They're best on larger targets like say if we can probably bully the Yamato uh, if we can get to it.
どんな戦闘でも
They're
生き残
fast
ってみ
planes,
せるわ。
but
指揮官、
they are
期待して。
not the best when it comes to attacking ships. Okay, so skip bombers typically can do a full run or at least 2 attacks on enemy ships. So we're going to try and look for a big target. Okay, so we're spotted. That means something's nearby. There we go. We can probably aim for this incomparable. Let's not do a full run. Okay, so I got a bit spooked there. I don't like that they had 2 cruisers and 2 battleships there. And the flak was getting in the way of my aim. Because really, a lot of these surface ship players, they underestimate the value of a good CV player. Well, sure, while it may seem easy, it's actually not. What they call easy for a surface ship, because yeah, admittedly there are some aspects that make it easy for a CV player to just flat out deal damage, but keep in mind, aiming's not the easiest here, especially when you're trying to go for full distance hit like this. Okay, so we landed 2 hits again. Okay, so now that we found our enemy destroyer, we'll try to aim for that. Yeah, it's a thing we know about this game that destroyers typically win games. I'm not confident in going to the sea flank because there's our allies are running away from it. There's the Svea. We're gonna lose this from sometime soon now. So that's not good. We're going to probably lose this game, if I'm being honest. We didn't support our destroyer enough. I'm just going to drop my load here. Try and get the Haragumo out. Okay, we nailed him, even if it's just by 1. Okay, so we're going to avenge our drop. Okay, I still landed. We're going to avenge our drop. Okay, so we have a Cerberus here allied with us. He can probably shoot down the Haragumo if we spot him. Yeah, okay, so there's the enemy Ragnar over there too at the sea cap. We're going to try and aim for him too. It looks like the enemy Shinano has the same idea as I had. Okay. It's okay. Okay. Now that the enemy is 1 destroyer short, we can probably aim for the Ragnar for a bit. Okay, so the problem is it's not an isolated target. We've equalized in terms of our ship types. Yeah. What we can do here is try and be a bit more, be a bit greedy. Aim for the Ragnar. Because the Ragnar has to. Okay, maybe not now. Okay, so there was a Svea. Okay, so I think we can join our team. Enemy Wisconsin is a bit isolated. Okay, so one thing about most players here is that they put adrenaline rush on their ships. Um, yeah, it's really one of the best skills in the game. Very, very applicable to all ship types. And big HP targets like battleships, typically battleships. Typically battleships is that they put adrenaline rush just because they can afford it. They can afford it in a sense that, okay, that was maybe a bit much. Okay, so at least we now know where they're hidden. Why is there Hindenburg there? So now we run into the problem that we have to now start supporting our team. Because, okay, so the Cerberus has his smoke up. That's likely not going to help. There's an enemy Des Moines over there. That's where the Ragnar is, I expect. Okay.
目標に接近中よ。戦闘機発艦させたわ。
Okay, so now we're going to do a perpendicular drop. The enemy Shinano had the right idea there. Cover the Ragnar in smoke. Try and help out a bit. Okay, so we're going to lose our daring now soon. Yikes. Okay, so I didn't help out with that. My problem. Admittedly, it's my fault. Okay, so just
戦闘機発艦させたわ。
an apology. It's an apology, really. Okay, so while I do want to hit that Burgonia, it's really not engaging badly right now. Problem is, I'm gonna lose planes really fast if I keep this up. The Incomparable is actually a better target right now. Simply because it's over there where I want to hide out. Okay, and the problem with the B, they're hunting over B, which is not a great place for me. Remember, I have paper planes. Okay, so the Incomparable is getting focused down. I could help, but really, I think they already have it handled. There's really no space for me to put in. It would be better for me to just aim for this Yamato. Okay, so we're not losing ships yet, but we have a lot of low HP allies. It's going to be a problem for us. Or at least the enemy carrier is not looking to finish it off. The enemy Zhao disappeared. Okay. I still think our team has a leg up over that Burgonia. Yeah. Okay, so it's going to be up to our Des Moines, I think, to handle that Ragnar. Where do you need it? Okay. is a good spot. Because we do what we can for our team. Okay. So we're not going to land double hits on the enemy Wisconsin here. We didn't get too many fires this game, but hey, them streaks. I think we can go for the Ragnarok now. I don't think the Svei is over there. Okay, so personally I think we can push it. Pushing in on a carrier is really not advised until it's like the very last moments of the game. So, okay, you have it. So let's just handle this Ragnar. Okay, so this way is smoke. They're both in smoke. Not gonna take that smoke. Okay, so let's redirect to the Berganya. May drop one on you, but they're not going to drop another. Why do you have to turn sideways? Okay. So, I think British battleships are natural counters to the French battleships. French battleships have a lot of guns, but typically of smaller caliber. And the only real weakness that British battleships have is that they have a really high citadel. If you hit them well enough with a caliber large enough, you can typically citadel even with cruiser guns to some extent. Okay, so now let's do that. Okay, Okay, so let's do something crazy. Let's sail out way over there. If I'm going to guess, the enemies hidden up, hold up all the way all the way around T1. Guessing by the directions of where the planes are coming from. But we really should ponder with it. I think we're winning this game of points. We have 2 caps to their 1. They're only low ship and they're really low on ships now. Okay, so there we go. Found the Shinano. Okay, there we go. The Woodbreak has been saving that one up for a while now. And landed quite a few hits. Didn't do all that much, but it's the thought that counts. I really wonder where that Zhao went. Okay. We have 2 fires on it. Thankfully it lost fires. Okay, and we go for the second round. Hopefully a 3rd fire. I really wonder where that Zhao went. Okay, so we're still fire farming here. Okay, so one of the downsides to Immelmann is that the planes get back to our ship way slower. Like 50% slower if I remember correctly. Which actually isn't so bad when it's on the Immelmann or the Richthofen. Especially on the Richthofen. I'll try to respect my Richthofen commander later. Okay, we won that on points. So, how'd I do? Not so bad. Not so bad, I hope. Okay, 3rd grade. Hey, top 5. Okay, so now we go to the Richthofen. Okay, so my idea for the Richthofen is that I'll have to give it the same treatment. I'll have to give it Hidden Menace too. Huh. Because the Richthofen has 3 types of planes. I can cycle between them quite easily. And I think getting them to returns to safe altitude faster would be the right move, the right play. So I think I'll have to spend some dubs on this, which is fine. Okay, so personally I'll take this, not this. Probably this, and this. I think this is a good setup. Okay, so which leaves me points for this and this. Okay. So this time we're going to be on the Richthofen. It's basically the inverse of the Immelmann. While the Immelmann specialize in causing floods and fires, the Richthofen doesn't have the same utility, but it does have a lot of AP. It has AP rockets, AP dive bombers, and torpedoes. The torpedoes are particularly fast, so that could work toward that could work in our favor. But let's see. This is my first time trying to play this with Hidden Menace. Otherwise, we'll be changing commanders if we really can't win on this. Okay, so we're dealing with an Essex. Uh, okay, yeah, I'll be doing what I'm good at, providing support to my team, and giving them fighter cover. They have a lot of long range ships, so I'll try to hang back. Uh, yep, they have a Marceau, so we'll be trying to we'll try to
指揮官
snipe
さ
that
あ行く
Marceau
わよ
off as early
準
as
備
we
は
could.
もちろんできてる
Okay.
目標に接近中よ 戦闘機爆破させたわ待機中よ
If I'm going to guess, that's the enemy Essex trying to sniff me out. They have a lot of long-range allies, which I don't like.
戦闘機が撃墜されたわ
There's a South, there's a Kremlin. Okay, so if I'm going to guess, the Marceau went the other way. The thing is about with Richthofen's torpedo ships, torpedo planes is that
鎧明治
they're really fast, and I can force my enemy to basically turn their ship around and expose their weak side, which is not bad really. Okay, so let's see how we can deal with this. There's an enemy Hindenburg over there. That flank is a bit forward. A bit in front of their formation, but it's heading back now. That's the Baleo. Okay, so where is the enemy CV aiming for? Okay. Okay, so now we can try and pick off that Hindenburg. It's running away now. We can try and spot this 4501. And this is the Marceau, okay. So next flight of torpedo boats I get, torpedo planes I get, try to. Okay, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. Okay, so see, but normally I'd try to retreat now, but there's still this Hindenburg. Okay, so the distribution of the enemy team is pretty... Okay, that's not good for us. There we go, 2 citadels. The enemy is really pounding on our Shimakaze, but thankfully our Shimakaze has smoke. And they don't have radar, or at least the Moscow is too far out. Yeah, okay. Let's try to provide some support for our team. Okay, there's a Kremlin. Okay, knowing my chances, I think I'll take a bit and stay here
自
in
動
this
航
one.
行に切り替えろ
Okay,
私
so
に任せてもらおう戦闘
we don't like that the enemy bombers are aiming for our Shimakaze, so let's go for them. So, but our fighters decided to have a dogfight. Okay, so next run around, we will be deploying our dive bombers because the Kremlin is actually a good target for this. It's exposed, so a good citadel to hit.
魚雷は命中女子
2 hits.
魚雷は命中女子目標に接近中
Okay, so the Shimakaze is turning out. It's going to aim for the weak B flank. The one scouting there right now. He has to be careful though. I'll try to provide support for him later on. That Kremlin is way out of position right now, which is a good thing for us. Let's try to drop our fighters here right now.
戦闘機発艦させたわ
Okay, so we're taking advantage of the
戦闘機が撃墜された
Richthofen's really fast planes. See how we turned out earlier. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we can basically bully the Kremlin now. It's isolated, doesn't have a lot of AA
目標に接近
on it. I think the AA is fully disabled now. Normally we can land the citadel, but we got our angle wrong. And also, we dove too far. There we go. And I don't believe that that should be a proper first blood. Okay, so
やるじゃん
if I'm going to guess, the enemy Marceau is in B cap. Let's just explore what we have here. Okay, so we're going to try and protect our Shimakaze again. Okay, but okay. I'm not too confident about taking on the Mecklenburg, mainly because it has VFAA. Okay, there's the Marceau. Okay, so not good. Hi guys. Enemy destroyer here. Okay.
目標に接近中
Okay, so now we at least know where the enemy Marceau is. We took their battleship, they took our destroyer. I think we won in that trade. Okay, the problem is
戦闘
yeah.
機発艦させたわ
Okay, so fighters aren't exactly the best at stopping enemy attacks. They're good for stopping consecutive enemy attacks. Okay, so Let's go. Okay, so normally I try to play into it, but the enemy Essex is covering for the Marceau. They have a good head on their shoulders. Okay, so okay, so it's good. Our teams are pushing in. The only cap we lost is B cap. And really, I think Hidden Menace is working well for us. We can cycle our planes. We can do things that we usually do. Good. Okay, don't like that. Uh-huh. Let's see what we can do here. I like how the Hindenburg is isolated. What is the Essex aim for? I'm having a bit of a hard time picking it out. I think it's a Colombo. The Colombo is slow right now. Okay, good. Negative. Otherwise, we'll be aiming for the Essex. Okay, so we got spotted. Not bad. Three citadels. Not bad. Enemy Mecklenburg, isolated and charging forward. Very close to our position. Convenience in these tactical games that we win. Okay, so Mecklenburg, bit of an oopsie. You're isolated now. You're just the right target for me. And now you're turning in. Okay, nice that you have the FAA on. There's the Citadel. I think we should head back. Okay. Okay, now the Mecklenburg has his side exposed. Okay, that's a win for us. Not bad. So, I think I finished my Gauntlet right around now. Not a bad game, I'm very confident. All things considered, top 5. And yeah, I think that wraps up the Gauntlet. And I really should have. So I think that's gonna be it for tonight. I did everything that I said I would. I think. Nah. Okay. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Yeah. So thanks for coming by, guys. Like and subscribe. And if you have any content idea, just put it down in the comments below. I think resetting the cruiser line might be an interesting idea. Or German cruiser line, it might be an idea because that's one of my very big deficiencies in this game. I don't play cruisers well. So yeah. Okay. Um, okay, that's gonna be it for tonight. Thanks guys for coming, and